We're also following the desperate search for a pregnant mother and her two young daughters mysteriously disappearing from their home in Colorado, north of Denver. The father saying he last saw his wife Monday morning after the two had a, quote, emotional conversation the night before. Tonight, the FBI joining the case, and here's ABC's Clayton Sandell from Colorado.
Police tonight are canvassing a small town with a big mystery.
Chris Watts, WATTS.
Wow. What's going on right now around your house?
Right now, it's got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere. And right now, it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
Well, now that roll call is complete, Chris is present, WATTS is in the house, but why are the sheriffs there with their cadaver dogs? Has anybody let Chris know that those dogs are trained to pick up the scent of death? What's it going to lead to? What are they so on point with? And who's missing, by the way?
What happened? Your wife came home. Tell me what's
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say, but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like if she's not getting back to her, like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when I came home.
He knows his name and he knows his numbers, 2 a.m., 5:15, 12:10, text Shanann 3 times, even called her, but he's out there letting the entire world know through Denver 7 that Shanann ghosted him, and it wasn't until she didn't get back to her friends that he became concerned. Did you leave work that afternoon at 12:10 when Nicole Atkinson started expressing concern about your wife and children? Had you even talked to Nicole at 12:10 that Monday afternoon?
I called him at 12:27. And I called him twice, he didn't answer, and then I called again. I was like, Chris, I'm worried about Shanann. She's not at home, or I said her car's here, but she's not at home, and do you know where she's at? Like, it's not, I haven't heard from her this morning. He then told me that she did not take the girls to daycare and they were going on a play date. And then I turned around and I was like, well, if they went on a play date, why doesn't she have her car? And then he proceeded to tell me, he's like, I don't know what Shanann's told you or hasn't told you, or if you know any of this, but he's like, and I'm not trying to bring you into her personal stuff, but me and Shanann are separating and we're going to sell the house. And at which point I said, Chris, your personal stuff is none of my business. That's not my concern right now. Either your wife and you will work things out or you won't. But where is your wife?
I got questions, Christopher. If an oil worker were to leave his site at 12:10 in the afternoon when he found out that something was wrong with his wife and children, and the drive was 45 minutes back to his house, what time should he arrive home?
And then walked in the house and nothing was vanished. Nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here. The kids weren't here. Nope, nobody was here.
What's your wife's name?
Shanann, SHANANN.
What's your kids?
Bella and Celeste.
How do you spell Celeste?
CELESTE.
How old are your daughters?
4, Bella's 4, Celeste is 3.
Look at him go, spelling everybody's names right. Was that some eye blocking you had going on when you got to Celeste? And who is this reporter? Does he moonlight for the FBI?
And so, how many times did you try calling her?
I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, what's going on? Like because after I called her and texted her once, it's like, maybe she was just busy. Like she had just gotten back, like everybody's probably calling her from her trip. She just got back from Arizona, and I figured she was just busy. But when her friend showed up, that's what it was like. It registered like, all right, this isn't right.
After I get it together, Stutter McStutterson, it's been 2 minutes in this interview, and all we know is that your favorite number is 3 and Shanann must be busy.
Do you think she just took off? Do you think?
I mean, right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But I mean, could she just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, like I want them back now. Like that's what's in my head. Like if they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. Like, if they're not safe, last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me, but it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
Chris kind of came into his authoritative self right there. If they're not safe, he wants them back now. But if they are safe, it's fine. As long as they're huddled up somewhere, he'll leave the lights on for them. He's not worried about the electric bill. Through all the trauma, he will stand by the front door and wait to be barrel rushed by his 3- and 4-year-old daughters.
I'm gonna ask some kind of tough questions. Your relationship with the kids.
Yeah, my kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life. And there's like, I mean, last night, like during when they usually eat dinner, it was just like I miss them. Like, I mean, I miss telling them, hey, you got to eat that, or you're not gonna get your dessert, and just like you're not gonna get your snack after. I miss that. Like I miss them, cuddle up on their couches. They have like a Minnie Mouse couch and a Sophia couch that they cuddle up on and watch, Bubble Guppies or something. And it was just like, it was tearing me apart last night, and I needed that. I needed that last night, and for nobody to be here last night and to go into their rooms and know that I wasn't going to turn the rain machines on, and I know that I wasn't going to turn their monitor on, and know I wasn't going to kiss them to bed tonight. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want.
Why are you starting to sway, Chris? Doing a little self-soothing? Is it all those sheriffs and the canines in the background? What do you miss more? Being a bully to your kids about snack time? Watching cartoons before bedtime? Be careful, you're starting to mix up your tenses.
Where was she gone for? She was on. She came back Sunday. You said at 2 at night.
Yeah, because her flight got delayed from Arizona because of like other storms around the nation. So she's supposed to get home like 11. She got home at like 1:48. She got in bed about 2.
What was she going for? Like family trip or what?
It was a Thrive direct sales. It was a local event that was down there between a bunch of leaders in the company.
And that day she was back. I mean,
I left work early that morning, like 5:15, 5:30. So like she barely gotten into bed pretty much.
And this might be a tough question, but did you guys get into an argument before she left?
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that. But I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like somebody has to come forward.
Emotional conversation. Why are you just going to leave it at that? I have questions. Why are you laughing? How has your smirk turned into pretty much a full-on laugh as you stand on the front porch of your house and beg the world to help you find your family?
Have you spoken to her family, like her parents?
Yeah, they've been in constant contact, like every hour. I mean, everybody back in North Carolina and the East Coast. I mean, from Maine to Florida.
What is her parents saying to you? Like,
They're just like if they need to get on a flight, just let them know. Because I mean, they feel helpless right now because they're on the opposite side of the country.
Frank, what's the key code to the garage? Get it now. Come to there.
Well, I can't go in, but if they allow you to go in, I have to have the property owner's permission to enter.
What's going on? Well, she's the property owner. They told me Shannon was at her girlfriend's house.
Do we know who that is?
Do we know
Her
who?
phone number?
When did he tell you that?
He needs respect and money. I don't know what he said.
I mean, Colorado is. I mean, you can't just drive around and look. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't really know what you're looking for. That's what the cops pretty much told me. That first day, I was like, I want to get out and drive around. They said, you wouldn't know what to look for.
Definitely an odd one.
Drive around like the normal route that she would be.
Where does she normally go to?
I mean, just like drive where like she would normally take the kids to school. People that I know that live down, people that live, Kristen lives down that way. I mean, that's the only routes I does she really take?
She go to their house frequently, or?
Not much, but.
Dem cops done give Chris zero credit for knowing where to look. He knew all he had to do was drive his truck right back out to Survey 319, walk up those scaffoldings, look down into the oil tanks. He'd see his daughters floating right there, his wife and unborn son buried 50 yards to the right. Frederick PD gave Chris zero credit on knowing where to look.
Last couple of questions. What does law enforcement, what have the police or the sheriffs or your neighbors, what's police saying to you?
Right now, this is what they're doing right now is with the canines in the sense. I think this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing they've done so far, because yesterday Frederick Police Department did all the searching of the house and tried to gather whatever information they could. And with the detectives, officers, and sergeants, and today it's, obviously with all the activity that's around, there's a lot going on around here, and I really hope that all of this can lead to something positive.
What did your neighbors, did they see anything? Did you ever see anything?
No, like the police department went door to door asking, like, cameras and everything, just like nothing.
If you've only been enjoying this psychopath auditorially, I'd rewind about a minute, go back and watch Chris's blink rate. It's through the roof. The amount of big gulps that he takes is often. He hasn't stopped swaying since he started, and he covered up his entire mouth when it came time to discuss how his neighbors had zero footage of him loading his entire family into his truck.
And my last question, if you have any of them, so feel free to say it. My last question is, if your wife can see this, if she can watch this, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
That's it. I can take that mic off you.
Well, that's an interview if I've ever seen one, to catch the FBI's attention, have Chris hauled into the Frederick Police Station that night, and then hooked up to a polygraph by mid-afternoon the next day.
There was an immediate sense of urgency to get Chris down to the police department. We had asked if he had already been interviewed, and Detective Baumhover said that he had been interviewed over body cam, which we knew we need him in a room with us that's recorded, video, audio, and we need to get his story down. We needed to know exactly what happened.
My daddy is a hero. He helps me grow up strong. He helped me snuggle too. He reads me books. He ties my shoes. You're a hero, blue and blue. My daddy, I love you.
With regard to count 2, as it relates to murder in the first degree, with Bella, the court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole. With regard to count number 3, the court is going to sentence you, as it relates to Celeste, to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole. Deputies, I would respectfully ask that you take this defendant into custody and have him serve the rest of his life in the Department of Corrections.